cranking the 10. We pulling the pin and bombing they spot. Cheer from the stands, I hate from the benches. We in the trenches, fought off the block. Champion fam, my mission to rock. Pressing they mans, I'm blitzing the op. Go get it in and double your ends and stack up your wins. And guess what you got? Money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot, money shot. One shot, last shot, money shot, money shot.
If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shot, snimming out the Madden cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys one of the hardest plays to stop in Madden 26, as I'm going to show you guys several gameplays where I literally run only one play all game, and my opponents have no idea how to stop it. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more gameplays like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, and let me know in the comment section. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Now, I started this game out on defense. I'm going to be using the same 3-3 Cub defense that I showed you guys in yesterday's gameplay video, where I'm going to be using the Sam Will Blitz 3 as well as some other defenses pretty much the entire game. But I'm going to be focusing mostly on the offensive plays. So if you guys want to see more about this defense, I will have links in the description as well as on screen at the end of the video, and also popping up in the top right hand corner right now. On the first play, when I see he's under center, I figure he probably wants to run the ball with Saquon Barkley.
Well, not today!
And since I shut down the run, he tries to throw it to him in the flats on the next play.
Sit your ass down!
On 3rd and long, I think he wants to hit this cross from the post route, but it's bagged, so he tries to beat me up the cover 3 seam.
Got him!
As Nate Wiggins might have the best physical profile of any cornerback in the game. On offense, I'm using my Kansas City Chiefs offensive ebook, and the formation I'm going to focus on today is the gun stack Y flex. And there's a lot of plays in this formation that I like, but I like to keep 4 plays in my audibles in the drive H wheel, the halfback quick base, the halfback slip screen, and the PA read, which is a 1-play touchdown against every single defense in the game that I already broke down in a previous video. So if you guys want to see more from this offense, I will have links on screen at the end of the video for that, as well as popping up in the top right hand corner right now. But if you guys want to see more plays from this offense, I have a full 16-minute breakdown on both my members only page as well as my Patreon. But you can also instantly download my Kansas City Chiefs offensive ebook to get a full breakdown of every play in this playbook simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. But my 5th and active play coming out of the huddle is always going to be the Y sail play. And that's because when I come out in this play, I typically want to read the defense before deciding what play to switch to, but it wasn't before long before I realized that nobody can stop this play, as all I have to do is put the A receiver on a corner route, and the right side is going to be a zone beating side while the left side is going to be a man beating side, but realistically both sides can be either man or zone. As the running back in the flat route and the wide receiver on the zig route will get open underneath both of the pulling routes above them against man or zone, as you always just want to take these reads first if they're open in the flats at the start of the play. Now if your opponent's running a lot of man coverages, the sail route that the tight end is on is actually a really good man beater, so you can leave that alone against people that run man. But since he looks like he's running a lot of zone coverages, we're going to put him on that corner route, and then we're going to go the opposite way to the zig route so that my opponent never really can get a beat on where I'm going in the flats. The next receiver in the read structure is going to be the corner route, as the fact that we have a slower tight end next to a faster receiver means that this receiver is always going to pull back any zone in the area, allowing this tight end to get open on this corner route outside against any defense. As my opponent's trying to set up an A-gap blitz from the 3-3 odd, and you can see that if I pause this play that all 3 routes that I just talked about are open, we're going to take the one for the touchdown. Back on defense, I'm still using that cover 3 that I used on the first drive, but after he beats me up the cover 3 seam, I use cover 1 on the next 2 plays to shut down his run game, as the idea is to mix these 2 plays together so that he doesn't know whether I'm in man or zone. But once he makes this motion across with this receiver and my man defender follows, I knew that he was going to try to hit me with a man beater, but I didn't have enough time to switch defenses, as he throws a crossing route to Grant Calcaterra that somehow beats one of the best safeties in the game in Kyle Hamilton.
Bullshit!
Back on offense, I make the mistake of trying to set up a 1-play touchdown, as it's really not necessary, and sometimes I feel like the risk isn't worth the reward, especially when the game is tied, as you really can get by with just taking dink and dunk checkdowns the entire game and have way more success, as he sets up that exact same A-gap blitz, this time coming right through the middle for the sack to push me back to 2nd and 23. So I go right back to the same play I've been using this entire game, with the only exception being that I'm now going to untarget his user linebacker to try to stop this blitz. But now that I'm behind the sticks, I have to push the ball down the field a little bit as I force it to the corner route with the cornerback just sitting right there. But we click on with our tight end and absolutely body him.
watch my Fanny's coming through. Watch it. Make room for Fanny.
That blitz does get through again on 3rd and 7 though, so on 4th and 7 I have to go for it. Only this time he thinks he's slick as he switches over to the safety in his cover 2 defense and tries to sit on this corner route. So I'm just going to take it over the top.
Break yourself, fool!
Psych!
Back on defense, he's still trying to run with Saquon, and I got to give him credit because he does have his best run of the game so far. But when he tries to run back inside, it ain't happening. So we shut that down and force him to a 3rd and 2 before he keeps making that motion to try to determine whether it's man or zone. And I can't switch at this point, so we're just going to have to switch stick well, as I guess Grant Calcaterra couldn't catch it that time.
Who?
Before we get into a 4th and 2, and we're going hard flats across the board, considering that he only needs 2 yards, as he makes that motion once again, only this time trying to hit a zig route.
No!
I start the next drive out by doing the exact same thing, obviously, as we take the running back in the flats. Before I decide to switch to another play, as there's basically the exact same play, only instead of the running back going out on a flat route, he goes out on a screen instead.
Identical.
As everything else is basically the same. And that's why I keep this play in my audibles, is I could switch to this at any point in time. I feel like the slip screen might be better than the actual flat route itself, but the only downside is you can't put the A tight end on a corner route. And that's because you can't make hot routes when it comes to screen plays, but you probably wouldn't want to do that anyway, considering you wouldn't have time for that route to develop. But the sail route's still a really good man-beating play that you can still use if somebody's using a man-zero blitz, and you can also throw to the Y receiver on a zig against any man or zone as well, if your opponent does chase down this screen play. Now, something that I didn't do in this gameplay, but I still want to bring up, is if you're running this setup, since I'm really only using one play with 4 audible plays being the only audibles that I need, I started running hurry up a lot. And even though I didn't do it in this particular gameplay, there's no real benefit to you as an offensive player to let your opponent go back to the huddle, as running hurry up can also give you a lot of benefits when it comes to hitting these short routes. They don't have a lot of time to set up their plays. So I highly recommend doing that. And even though I said I was only going to run one play this entire game, I actually do decide to run the ball in the next play. And that's because I don't want to score too quickly. Considering there's 41 seconds left on the clock, I want to grind this clock down a bit, as I let the play clock tick all the way down to 13 seconds before calling one of my final 2 timeouts, as I know I'm going to score here. I just want to make sure that my opponent doesn't get the ball back with any time.
Timeout!
This is also not necessarily a great play on the goal line, as you can really just hard flat and take away both of these options. So I switched to a different play and basically just roll outside and walk in with Lamar Jackson. And since my opponent can't stop me and I get ball in second half, my opponent decides to rage quit. But we get a quick look at the stats before he does, as I completed 80% of my passes using this dink and dunk scheme, forcing my opponent to quit before halftime.
See ya!
While he could only complete 50% of his passes against this defense. Now, earlier in the video, I said I was going to show you guys this in multiple gameplays, and that's because I already showed it to you guys in yesterday's gameplay where I broke down the defense I was using today, where I showed a drive that I basically did the exact same thing against another opponent. So if you guys want to see more from this offense, or more specifically from this defense, I'll have that popping up on screen, so just click links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.